Yes, that will wrap up this set, though. And of course, you know, that means I think we're translating to North America here at this point.
Still have FlashPoint.
That's right, we do have
Can't leave FlashPoint behind.
You know, you just assume they're so good that was such a...
they're so good that we don't even need to watch them.
They're so good. Well, you know, and that is the question, you know, they had this amazing land win in spring. FlashPoint and these boys really translated that into their momentum, carrying it into the summer, but were unfortunately not able to get it done, get the repeat victory. But as the first PS4 team we saw take that land win and really usurp Xbox. And so they have a lot of history. They've kind of put a lot of pressure on their backs, and I think how they handle it in the online phase is very indicative of how they're feeling heading into LAN.
My question is whether or not YCTG, I mean, this is going to be a tough matchup to show it, but can show improvements.
Yes.
Because last week it was actually just called out the fact that they chose Timber Mill, they chose Ice Mines, and both of them did not go well for their team. It didn't look that great. Here you're going to Stonekeep, you're having to play FlashPoint on a map that they're really good at.
Yeah.
You're looking at what is the best showing we can have against this team. Not necessarily looking to beat them. Again, those last two teams are the teams that I think are most likely to take down FlashPoint in this region. But as of right now, they have just proved to be an indomitable beast.
Indomitable. Love that name. Pass ban here from FlashPoint, trying to keep some things open. YCTG, they're going to ban out the con. If FlashPoint pass once, well, they're not going to pass twice. The Vivian is there, and it will be YCTG now with the option to either pass or ban. It's rarely used, but sometimes we do see higher level teams with an idea in mind do it. It's the Fury. So the Inara is available, so is the Koga, and it's also the Torvald, which opens up a lot of things.
I mean, Makoa and Nara both still available. If you want to grab both of your front lines, Drogo is still available, actually. There's so much still on the table that it's difficult to deal with. I'm actually surprised to see FlashPoint deal or ban out the Vivian, because I feel like that's actually one of the champions I thought they would be going for. But I have a sneaking Talus suspicion coming through, potentially, for FlashPoint, especially if you can accompany it with Torvald.
Oof. Genos, Makoa, Torvald, just rough. And you know there's going to be some hit scan coming through later on. But it might be the Leon. We know Prosper Logic loves him some Leon. And they were joking about it. The boys were saying, you know, just let us play it. Just got like a 1-6, 1-8. Let Prosper play it for the next few days, and we'll just get right that back up to, you know, 50% or higher. Koga here taken, and this is a champion that, you know, reading some tweets, some players in console love, some people feel is overrated, but it will be the Androxus who definitely has his place, and the Willow. All of these champions, deadly.
I let it slip my mind for a second, and I remembered it right after they switched away. Now, they don't need Talus. They have another flank that they've been playing a lot. I think Legacy told me, I'm sure it was an exaggeration, that Goodlad had played like 40 games.
It's impossible.
It is impossible to have played 40, but he was playing a ton of Androxus on
20.
the release of 1.6.
Maybe even 25.
Maybe
that would
even
be
25.
a crazy day. But 40, you must be crazy. I need screenshots. And I haven't got them. So we'll have to wait and see. Mixer Bowl, who do you guys think is going to win in chat? Let us know. We will show that up on screen in just a second, so make sure to contribute your vote. So far, my vote's with FlashPoint. I mean, it's hard to vote against one of the champs of the summer and the spring. But YCTG, do you think they're going to be able to handle this Androxus Willow with the Torvald bubble and the Luminary Genos that we would expect to see?
That's a lot of damage. Like, that. Not only is that a lot of damage, but I mean, even going back to what me and Nick were talking about with Torvald earlier, we were mentioning the fact that, admittedly, at worst, the best Torvald, or the worst thing Torvald can do is give you a 2,000 health shield. Like, he's going to give you a big buff. And whether or not you have someone who's going to need it, in this case that's the Androxus who needs that extra health, or you have someone who doesn't, which is pretty much Harvey on the Makoa, it's still going to be a big benefit to literally every single member on FlashPoint.
Harvey here is a, you know, a great player, and you would be well, I think, questioned. Not well questioned, but I mean, well in your intentions to question why Legacy, after having, you know, the best Makoa game we've ever seen on console in the finals, going basically 38-0, not to play him. And, you know, you have to say maybe that's just a preference score, or maybe it's just, you know, Harvey really not familiar with practicing on this Torvald in this type of lineup to give Prosper Logic the room he needs to succeed. And so far, Succeed, FlashPoint have not.
It's difficult to trade the 39-0 Makoa for the first blood Makoa. But again, like you said, maybe a comfort thing, as well as coming through the fact that that's probably not going to be the best showing. Harvey, still a lot to do with a beautiful shell shield.
I never saw the implants of the, what is the skull and bones, apparently, in this Akuma Makoa. That was awesome.
And it looks phenomenal, just like the couple of kills. Not even a high kill count game.
Right.
But just a lot of pressure. YCTG gave up tons to FlashPoint. And I believe the only person that actually just fell was Talus. Overall, you have the full retreat come through, but you're at 60%, so you have some leniency, some leeway to play with, but only one front line to really work out.
Well, we've watched Harvey all game, and I think the conversation we set up was, how does this Androxus with iGoodLad practicing what he said is 40 games end up playing off? And look at that, he catches the reversal, hits a few. Nasty Pro, though, sends him down. Owned by Atomic sends them down as well. I think the weirdest thing is FlashPoint with the Willow, maybe getting forced off or just taking the early low ground, has put YCTG in a great spot, and Owned by Atomic has not been touched. This is not the FlashPoint we would have expected to see. A good hook there by Harvey to get at least something going, but that Drogoz went undying the entirety of that first round.
This is one of those things that even though they are top of the charts, there's still, I mean, scenarios that can take them by surprise or at least take them out. GoodLad gonna find a kill right there. Patty's gonna get taken down by Harvey. And so I'm still seeing moments of FlashPoint, but like you said, this doesn't feel like the full team.
You could say,
and with the way things are going, they need to step up. I mean, like, that's just how it is. It's one of those things, I actually had mentioned it last week, but when you know you can win a set, even though YCTG play that well, 100%. It feels like there's way more mistakes from FlashPoint.
Well, you know, it's a big thing in sports, right? Playing up to your level or playing down. Some teams have the habit of playing down to the level they are, whereas you take a championship caliber team like the Golden State Warriors, they lose to the Lakers, who don't even make the playoffs last year, you know, 1 or 2 times, right? And you're saying, why are you playing down to the level? At that point, they don't really care in the game of basketball about that regular season. But here, you have fewer games, and you have fewer opportunities to make staple moments happen for your squad and for you as a player. So playing up to the talent or just always staying at your level if you are the best team in the game needs to be an initiative that all of these teams prioritize here in their performance. And yeah, round 1 did not go the way that I think FlashPoint and fans were expecting.
Now, though, a beautiful hold so far, at least keeping back YCTG. And this is the perfect kind of hold because you're ready to retreat whenever you need to. You're like, okay, well, we don't have to give them any kills. We just fall back. You can get the payload, but you have 45 seconds to push it 80% of the way. Agreed. What are you going to do with the space that we've given you? And for the most part, it's not even going to be enough to get to 50%. Prosper. You can see where FlashPoint are holding now.
I'm just curious. I get that they have to call back because they did lose iGoodLad, but I mean, I like that high ground position for him. And he's going to go back in the low ground. Prosper operating a lot on the low ground. And this is where he needs to be. This is where Willow is going to succeed. So getting a good dead zone there, a couple of shots. The fall-off damage is enough. Could be able to clean this one up. Beautiful aim, almost gets it. Tariq's own, not Tariq, sorry, but Grover's, he just played Grover all last game, and I'm just thinking Nasty Pro's own heal ends up saving him, but not this time. 575 from the Willow, dead onto the face from the Wand.
Couple of kills right there, and you're going to have overtime Beanie standing on the payload as long as he can, but one lonely Fernando can only do so much. Everybody else slowly getting handled. Patties needs to go down. GoodLad cuts it a little close, but still able to come out on top. Gets the bubble, and now can get right back into the aggression and beautiful headshots.
And you know, Androxus has always been a very good champion when you could play him on console. And Storm Avatar making sure that Owned by Atomics just realizes he doesn't have that health card to get him to 2450. You're taking a full 2400, and I'm saying see you later, back to base. FlashPoint have good slash lines here. 9-2 for iGoodLad, but still 1-1 on the scoreboard.
This is going to be, I think, the change-up. YCTG, if they can use their ults perfectly at the beginning of the round, are going to be able to put FlashPoint right back in the position they were in round 1.
Right.
Same thing goes, though, if FlashPoint can at least use their ults the way that they need to this round or going into it, YCTG are going to have a lot more trouble trying to even hold up a candle to what FlashPoint will be able to burn.
See if the light shines or if it's dark. I know Genos is a fan of stepping into the light, wouldn't you say, for him?
Definitely. Potentially causing people to perish
Watch
as well.
out now, watch out now. Through time and space, is it on the way? Not yet. I'm so surprised, man. That was a full wipe possibility, but iGoodLad says, no, you hold on to that Storm. Let me go ahead and do your job for you. You're going to get 1-2 kills off of this. Let me get them both. And now let's trap them in a corner. Harvey comes over, says hello. Rainy, this is why I'm playing the Makoa. Finds one. Nice shell spin. Finds another. Prosper Logic now getting in the action. Everybody's taking a turn here on FlashPoint. 81%, 84. A triple kill from Prosper. That's Logic for you that is hard to argue against. 99%, and that's the point.
Harvey plays that so well that it gives... I want to say that third kill to Prosper Logic was kind of gifted on a silver platter from Harvey, because Bomb King is so focused on trying to kill this Makoa. He backs up, he pops his shell shield. There's no way the damage is coming through.
Right.
And then right behind him comes the Willow, and he is so focused on trying to kill off Harvey that didn't even realize that Prosper Logic was right behind him, or if he did, he didn't care enough. And overall, that was going to be beautifully played. Well done once again by FlashPoint. Again, they use their ults just the way they need to.
And I think Prosper wants to stay on that high ground, but knows just the dislocation, the disruption from the combustibles sends him a little bit too far his flight trajectory to be able to make it back up. Minute 42 now on the objective for Prosper as he flutters onto the high ground where he wanted to be, and this is a great zone for a Willow, but you know who's been shutting him down so much? It's Nasty Pros, Cripples. Those are the things that iGoodLad and Prosper do have to worry about. Despite being dominant here, Nasty Pro, as a support, I mean, contributing so much effective control over these flanks that it's something that we really miss seeing from Grover in the PPL, I'd say, Gore.
It's been a while since he's been able to come through. It's been a while.
You knew it.
I knew where you were going from, because I remember you doing that earlier.
You need to
and that one always passes between us.
What's the other one that you say?
I will say
the small thing. It's
all the small things, and this is with the pause right after.
Pause. I love it. I think you're just a musical man.
I have grown up pretty much almost always enveloped in music.
Yeah. That's a good thing. Used to play, what was it? A
ton of instruments.
And you know how to play the bagpipe, right?
Yep.
Look at that.
Bagpipe is a fun instrument.
I will take that from Gormizer. If you guys want a bagpipe show, let us know in the Mixer chat. And we will make sure to somehow, at one point in time, make sure that he does that for us. 23 seconds. Think of the meme score as well. Think of the meme show on Esports Weekly after that. It would just be fantastic. iGoodLad finding a lot of kills, and look at the damage. Whirlwind barely able to save YCTG's Grover. That Dragon Punch ain't going nowhere. And Patty's now feels the damage from the Shatter Star, or the Shatter Maw. Or the Star Splitter. Nah, that's the Genos weapon. But either way, FlashPoint splitting hairs there. It's all done. 3-1. One round more, and it'll be their game here.
And see, there he is. So focused. Finally turns around. But maybe a second too late. Prosper Logic plays that well as well, being able to get aggressive when he does. Something that we typically expect out of him. 10-2 and 10, 18-5 for GoodLad. So I'm starting to believe that, he has absolutely been playing nothing but Androxus since 1.6 dropped.
I mean, we're not watching him very much, but every time we do, we look and he's got like 9 extra kills. It's like, I think GoodLad deserves some camera time right now, because he is 18-5 on Androxus, and at this point, he's been the difference maker for sure as far as killing blows. Going for a long flank, and you can see him and Legacy actually working together here. And oh my god, the punch! That's right, you get the extra damage on the punch as well. Elects to go for that instead, and on console, probably a much smarter decision considering some of the aim can be difficult to do. Oh my goodness gracious, 1,000 damage! Not even running Defiant Fist, owned by Atomics, getting owned by iGoodLad. And FlashPoint now, 33% and counting. This looks like a GG to me.
And playing the flank true to his name, being able to hold control, even though the streak isn't quite burning just yet, only at 3. He's been picking up clean kills pretty much left, right, and center. And now all of YCTG is locked in a single room. They're not even looking at the point.
And you know who loves people locked in a single room?
Willow.
But FlashPoint as well, because then they can't touch the objective and even come close to trying to tie the game. FlashPoint take game 1 rather convincingly, and that puts them in a great spot to close it out in game 2. But will they be able to? That's obviously the question on our minds. So far, I'm feeling very confident, especially with that Androxus, that, man, YCTG are going to have to completely change their game plan and maybe start worrying about the picks and ban strategy they have going into this one.
And I think that's going to change based on the map. That's one of the things YCTG like their ice mines, they like their timber mill. But based on last week, I don't think this is going to be enough. This is typically the map where it's like, we're going to take top team 3-3, and then we're going to draft for that final point fight. That is what we want to win.
Yeah.
That doesn't always work if the skill gap is wide enough. FlashPoint, especially with how often a team like them would be brought here, will typically be able to pick up themselves potentially a win.
So the pass is interesting.
They did this last week.
It's a double pass because they want everything on the board. So the Con Torvald are taken. YCTG now will have a first pick. And it's going to be the Fernando. Well, they know that they are going to be able to get another something that they want. And that's what the pass bans are for, to open up the field. And they force Makoa Ruckus out. So it's right now just a frontline kind of economy. Which makes
Fernando
sense. It's because Torvald and Con are banned as well, so you really only have your choices. But you don't seem to agree.
I think Fernando's good, but on my list of Makoa and Nara, then probably Fernando with what's left since Con's banned away. So, like, personally, I would have leaned a different way. I'm surprised that we do see Makoa Ruckus come through, but I think, again, this is something that's very good for Ice Mines. Androxus looked good last map. Not necessarily known for his Ice Mines gameplay, but, again, when you get a certain skill gap between two teams, you can kind of run anything.
You know what I really like, though? I will say this. Big fan of the Inara and the way that she can control the space. If you do find her after Fernando, you might be able to take first place.
Well, Ruckus, including the game earlier right now, I think is 9-0. So maybe looking to be able to find himself a 10th win. Definitely not odds you want to be betting, I guess, against. I guess
Nara also has a very low win rate when she is selected here as well in console. Maybe that's because of the Willow on the opposite side most of the times when you do select the Stone Warden. Mixer poll, who do you think is going to win this game? I got my money on FlashPoint finishing the deal, although I am interested to see if they can do it smoothly, like the music in the background. Can they find a couple of bumps in the road in point 1 and realize that that can then give them the energy they need to dominate 4-0 in the next part of this set? Or will it be a tough one? And will YCTG kind of hold up the momentum that we've seen FlashPoint gain?
A lot of this map is push and pull.
Yeah.
Mainly, well, I guess actually technically it's push and pull because there is no push. Most of the time, no one finds a push. If FlashPoint can grab a point, the question is whether or not they can push a payload. And the same thing goes for YCTG. Last week on this map, there were questionable ults. They were being thrown out, not really connecting. Sometimes they were not using their ults just at all. So that is going to be, I think, some of the big change-ups I want to see from them last week to this week. But right now, it is a 100% chance, at least in the chat, for FlashPoint to win.
Not one believer. Not one. You know, and I think you just have to look at the dominance of last game, which is the more big result there. Obviously, you want to see a team win, and when you see a team win, you believe they have the chance to win more because you've already seen how they do it. Beanie really working against the grain here on the Inara. Goes in the Earthen Guard. Where's the healing? Furia gives it to her, and even standing in the dead zone, it's going to be able to avoid that. Legacy getting pushed back as well. This is with the fight of Ice Mines. It's just very close, and Harvey really just ignoring Beanie on the objective core, goes for the backline and finds Patties.
Just trying to do whatever he can. Beanie is in this awkward position. Beautiful skin, but just not enough gameplay behind it when it comes down to it. So finding a lot of good shots, but like you said, getting ignored.
So is this YouTube video caliber gameplay right here? Is this
for Inara? It's something I'd upload. Maybe not on your channel.
Oh, what a compliment. Core. 42%, and my heart is blooming, as well as YCTG's objective score on the objective. Score on the objective. I think that can be worked out in my mind a little bit easier.
It's okay. I said most killingest earlier, and that's just, there's so many things wrong with that.
That's just a word that should be there, you know? I think that's not redundant. That's just an awesome word. But you know what else? We're seeing FlashPoint having trouble again. Round 1 with the YCTG. You would think after losing Patties that they, you know, somehow can find an answer, but no, absolutely nothing. And Beanie stays alive the entire round. Good management of the skills and cooldowns from him.
I think I give credit to Beanie specifically because he doesn't die. I think there's a moment where if he does get staggered out, that point starts to slip back into FlashPoint's favor, but he was just ignored, and that's beautiful for him because he just gets to say, okay, I'm not going to do much, but this damage is just enough left and right to be able to cause a lot. That you just heard was Ying popping her ult.
Was I spoken to by a death speaker at that moment? Because that's the name of the skin, and I'm actually feeling like that just happened in my mind. Obviously 1.6, ladies and gentlemen, if you're noticing some of these skins.
It's a good start for October 1st, too.
It certainly is. Spooky all around, even in the casting booth here. At high risk.
Ooh, we should get spider webs.
We should. I wouldn't mind a few spider webs. Let's like slowly decorate with like a few spider webs, and we'll get like a big spider back there. Eventually, it'll be like a bunch of baby spiders. We'll like tell a whole story with our decorations. And look at that skit, just beautiful. I think the nail salon is the one that I want the answer to. Where did she go to get those?
The claws that have come through. Still not going to be using any melee on the side of Ying. Doesn't want to chip anything. But as of right now, good lad finds 2. FlashPoint. I mean, again,
That's
really,
a man who lives with
really
a lady right there. That is a man who lives with a lady.
Lackluster first point. And then they step it up.
Well, I'm not sure it's even stepping up. I mean, defending on ice mines is one of the easiest things to do. You almost a given. So I'm not going to give him credit there. You're going to have to earn it.
You can set your controllers down at this point, 40 seconds.
Okay, you've earned it.
Relatively too long. Harvey and good lad going to be able to kind of double team down. And this is where YCTG, you have 5 ults. I like the fact that they're not using them. But last week was the comment, and this is what I want to look at for next round. When do they use them? How do they use them? Are they in tandem? Are they by themselves? Do any of them get popped?
Right.
Those things will matter, especially against a team like FlashPoint if you want to try to get a second point.
Man, Legacy with a beautiful double kill to just finish off Patties. And Ernest again, who's in the point room right above it. The usual catwalk, we talk about it, but in Ice Mines it is enclosed. So maybe the cat box? Is that a thing? I live with a cat.
In the litter box.
The litter box. Is that what we're going to call that? Oh boy, that sounds like a bad name for it. We'll find out. What do you think that room should be called? And I'm curious what these players call it colloquially as well. Harvey here on a 4 streak, but the wall from Iron Madam Inara goes up. He will skirt around it, go back to the Archangel Tyra, which seems an interesting display of heaven and one of what I only would assume is hell if you're around it between the two characters. And it all, I guess, evens out in Purgatory. Has a 1-1 is the score.
Sloppy. Not sloppy. I don't guess sloppy is the right word, but definitely an uncharacteristic round from FlashPoint because they didn't necessarily do anything wrong. YCTG played that well. They were able to get a couple kills.
Yeah.
But it's FlashPoint not playing, I think, to their level. And similar to what you had said during the last game, where it's just like you seem like you're playing down for round 1,
right,
and then you remember, oh, wait, we're FlashPoint, and then win round 2 and the rest of the game. So here, again, looking at the ults, 81%, 86% there for Good Lad and Legacy. So not going to have the Ancient Rage or the Accursed Arm.
Yeah.
But you have a little bit of ultids, mainly from Storm Avatar, to be able to buy that time to get those charged.
It's also important to note that that Illusory Rift allows Ying to teleport to any of her teammates. So if Ying goes down early, she can die, pop that ult, and then be right back on the objective. Seismic Crash, but oh boy, it is tough to take down Harvey. And they do find him. They fully commit, though, and that is one of the issues that I'm worried about. Illusory Rift is popped. Legacy finds Patties, and so that's the Hunter's Mark down. Beanie forced to get away, but he wants to stand in that Solar Blessing. Will that mean that he's hook bait here for the Turtle? Ancient Rage popped by Makoa, and now he's close to Nasty Pro. Leaves her. Leaves her. She's one hit, and there he goes. He finds the kill onto the Furia. Prosper Logic finds the Drogos. Hi, Good Lad. He's a good boy this round, and he finds a kill onto Owned by Atomics, who hasn't been killed here by FlashPoint in round 2, Gore.
That's a lot more FlashPoint than what we saw out of last round. And again, going right back to last map where they're starting to look fresh again. No Dragon Punch used, no Crossfire used, and they aren't even able to. Patties goes down for a second time, and the zone is going to be incredibly strong here from FlashPoint. Looking for dismounts left and right. 93%. That should be 100.
And this is the problem. When Inara stays alive, when they're able to zone out, play this slow game, I think YCTG have a really good lineup to do that. Solar Blessing, Combustible, Hunter's Mark, I mean, Fernando Immortal, Inara, just Inara being Inara. And FlashPoint do have much more of a, hey, let's press the gas pedal, let's find some burst, let's finish this off, let's make the win and zone out. And so maybe FlashPoint play YCTG's game, and maybe in this round, YCTG, I think, force FlashPoint's game to them. Which is unfortunate because they hit the gas pedal, Seismic crashed Harvey, but that just made FlashPoint say, let's go.
And now with the way things are, ult's being charged back up, but I'm looking at FlashPoint using theirs a little bit more efficiently. The Accursed Arm so far has been getting kills from last game for this game. As long as Good Lad is in a good position, he's been able to get at least a frontline, if not 2 kills off of that. Hexafire is well charged up. Harvey hadn't necessarily had the best game. He's been focused out a lot. But all you need is one really good positioned ult to change that around.
Absolutely. He's trying to go the long way around town. And he's going to get some self-healing. Prosper Logic has played Willow 2 games in a row, and that starts to be a really nice thing for a damaged player, especially if you have a good game in game 1. You're just like, yeah, right back on it. Riding a bicycle. Don't have to learn a whole new trick. YCTG now 1 point to their name, but forced to defend here. FlashPoint haven't made much of this push. The Legacy with the Makoa gets a nice hook owned by Atomics. Is he going to go into the Immortal here? That could be an issue.
900 health, 600 going down. Dead Zone is right on top of him. He doesn't have any source of healing. He is locked in a corner, but he's going to be able to walk out alive. Beanie right now is the focus. A good hook that you'll get the kills. Well, FlashPoint, I mean, I said this last round, 40 seconds left. I'm not sure there's enough time really to find the push. Unless you can just steamroll. You have to stomp YCTG the rest of the round.
Good Lad makes a big play. I will say, this is exactly what you don't want to see on Ice Mines. Every second Ernest, again, is not dead. He is delaying his death right now to be able to be with his team. And he makes it back. You would have assumed the way that Good Lad was hitting those shots, he'd be able to clean up the Dragon, so that ends up working out for him. Risky, but they are all back together. S5 defending. But FlashPoint are in a great position to turn this around, and a Cursed Arm in the hands of Good Lad.
Dashing forward, a beautiful position, a Cursed Arm, like you said, ready, but will he pop it? Good Lad gonna throw a nice reversal right into the Drogos, but not gonna find the kill. Harvey gets aggressive, he's got 2, and his shield is gonna be enough to keep him alive, potentially for a 3rd.
Beautiful from Harvey. Good Lad gets saved. He saves Prosper Logic. It's just good things getting paid forward here from Good Lad and the squad. FlashPoint 3-1 over YCTG. That push goes through, and that was what probably no one expected to happen as a result of the first minute. But things changed, and they sung a different tune after this play right here.
FlashPoint called or I guess technically in this case it's YCTG's bluff, where it's just like, well, cool, here on Ice Mines, good luck getting the push.
Yeah.
And not only did they get the push, but they did it with just flying colors. 11, 2, and 8 once again. Number 3 on the damage charts, but Good Lad has definitely been able to sit up there and do a lot of work for his team. And again, it goes back to what they said. The day that these aim settings were changed, Good Lad and pretty much the rest of FlashPoint seemed very excited to start picking up the Ruckus, the Taos, the Androxus. Like, so many champions in their eyes were open. So I'm not too surprised to see them come out, but I think I am surprised to see them do just this well.
I mean, in my opinion, now Good Lad's played like 50, 60 games on the Androxus. No matter how good he's played, I'm thinking that, the games keep going up because his aim has been perfect, except for that one moment he couldn't clean up that Drogos towards the end of it, but it ended up working out, and Flame is here. Nasty Bro should be dead. And it's Storm Avatar who gets taken down by Ernest again. So both of these supports are down for both teams, but the Dragon's going to die now. Patty surely will get melted here. I'm speechless. I have no idea why the Hexifier was brought out there. That could have been a big mistake.
In my head, the entire time I'm thinking, he hasn't Hexifired yet. Why not? There's been so many good moments for it.
What in the...
But he's getting a lot of damage. His team's getting a lot of good zones. That is probably the worst time to have pulled it out, but I feel like that was FlashPoint feeling confident in themselves, maybe thinking he could get the kill a little faster than he would die.
I see how he tried to do it, and I mean, Hexifier, you do give the credit, but a Hunter's Mark Tyra firing at you as well. That'll start to melt. There's the crossfire. Good Lad has gotten Nasty Pro, and boy, you got to say he's made the difference. This Androxus has been dominant, and he again will make the difference here. Inara's not so scary without a healer, even though she does have that Iron Madam skin, so I'll take that back. She's still scary, but she's not as sustaining. It's FlashPoint, gonna 2-0 here in the European side of PS4.
I will say YCTG,
and they're
in my eyes, look better
as well.
But it's just not enough to be able to climb from the bottom. Like you said, FlashPoint now,
congratulations,
once again coming through. Vexed, FlashPoint, so 2 teams that everyone kind of expected to see, especially with their 4-0 /lines coming into this week.
Congratulations, FlashPoint. I mean, what an incredible performance. I can't wait to see these Androxus plays. And of course, 5-0. What a great kind of run here. And Cyclone GG not quite able to do it. YCTG definitely not quite able to do it. A lot of work to do, but that's okay. Time is your friend. Even though it feels like an enemy, time is your friend. You will get better with time. So keep on trying, keep on improving, keep on gaming. My name's Randy. That's Gormizer. We're going to take a quick break before we move down to the second half of today's broadcast. But it's been a fun one thus far. Enjoy yourselves. Grab some chips. Go to the bathroom. See you back here on Mixer in just a sec.